rowdy. It is going to be good, and it's going to be a wild weekend here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. Enjoy, A's fans, and we'll talk to you after the ball game.
Friday night baseball in the 916. It is rivalry weekend as the San Francisco Giants come to town to face the A's for the first of three. It is a packed house, and we are ready to go. Hello again, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden, I'm Chris Carey, looking so forward to this series against the San Francisco Giants. But how about Aaron Savali? He has been consistent. He has been excellent in the starting role for the A's.
Chris, this dude has been slicing and dicing. You want to talk about a rock-solid foundation? That's what you need if you're going to build wins and build a strong season. Aaron Savali has been that foundation, not only for the club, but for the starting rotation. Remember, this is a man responsible for logging the first win for the team, as well as the starting rotation. Over 8 starts, we're talking the sub-3 ERA. The last 3, Chris, a sub-1 ERA, 2-0 in that. And the fact that he has dominated with guys on base and in runners in scoring position, just 3 for 35 have the opponents been.
He will try and address a Giants team that has struggled to find their footing in the early going of this season, Dallas.
I think it's fair to say that they're looking for an identity, no questions asked. And I think when you look at some of the offensive categories across baseball, the ones that are important, well, they are at or near the very bottom. Unfortunately, if you're a Giants fan, the 147 runs scored, well, nobody has scored fewer than that across baseball. You look at where they're at in terms of their ERA, 4.02, that's 7th in the National League. They are light their ace in Logan Webb, and they have turned the diamond into a FIFA pitch. They're kicking the baseball all around, 24 errors, 3rd most in the National League.
The fans are out and are ready to go. They are loud and proud for both teams. It is rivalry weekend. Nothing better than that. It's the San Francisco Giants against the A's. Game 1 starting next.
Summer's here. Who's ready for camp?
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Get your
Rivalry weekend here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. The San Francisco Giants are in town to start this series, first of 3 games. Another gorgeous evening at the ballpark, DB. And tonight's game time weather is brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And it's a little bit more humid outside, 85 degrees, 12-mile-per-hour winds, but not rainy at all.
I'll tell you what, it's a great night for a ball game. It's a great night to start a rivalry weekend. We've got fireworks tonight. Let's see if we can get some fireworks popping off just before nightfall. Love to see this A's offense with an offensive outburst here, and I think they've got the opponent on the mound just for it.
The A's dropped the series against St. Louis. The Cardinals took 2 of 3. Despite the A's being competitive in all 3 games, now hoping that the momentum swings back in favor of the green and gold with Darren Bush as the acting manager in tonight's game.
That's right, Bushy is the skipper tonight. You might be wondering where Mark Kotze is. Well, congratulations to Mark and Jamie Kotze, because they are at graduation, my friend, down south. Our dear friend Grace, Mark Kotze and Jamie Kotze's daughter, has graduated college, graduating from USC. So congratulations, Gracie girl. We are so proud of you. I know Mom and Dad are proud of you as well. So from us and the entire A's family, congratulations on your graduation.
Impressive family the Kotze's have. I know that the skipper and his lovely wife Jamie are incredibly proud of their children, and the skipper proud of this A's club that has played very hard all season long, and a lot of credit goes to the starter Aaron Savali for the performances he's been able to put out to start the year in 2026. And it seems like the boys are starting to click in a big way, but they will contend with this Giants starting lineup, which is brought to you by your Bay Area Chevrolet dealers. It starts with the Korean international Jung-Hoo Lee, then Luis Ariz, the multi-time batting champion, Matt Chapman, Rafael Devers, with Elliot Ramos batting fifth, then Adames, Eldridge, Susak, and Bader.
And the dude on the mound has been dealing. That dude is Aaron Savali, and he has been just absolutely carving his way through the early portion of this season. ERA just a hair over 2.5, over 41 2/3 innings. Aaron Savali, inning in and inning out, has continued to provide this team with chances to win ball games seemingly every time he's taken the mound, Chris. And we're going to talk a lot about how he has done a fantastic job of navigating when spots start to get tight, spots start to get tough. You got guys on base, you got to make big pitches. That's exactly what Savali has done all season long.
Here's the defense behind Aaron Savali tonight. Let's start in the outfield. Soderstrom at left, Bolte in center, Butler in right, with Geloff and Kurtz on the corners, Hernandez and McNeil up the middle, Shea Langoliers in harness for Aaron Savali, making his 9th start. And Henry Bolte performed well in his first 2 games in the big leagues. Tyler Soderstrom, whose father played for the Giants, Geloff and Kurtz, had monster series against the Cardinals. And there's the Law Dog, Lawrence Butler, ready to perform here in front of their home crowd against their rival, the San Francisco Giants. It doesn't get any better than this.
This is a series that I look forward to year in and year out. It's a series that I look forward to as a player. I understand things may have changed at this point in time, but I can tell you right now, the desire to beat the brakes off these dudes has not.
So Jung-Hoo Lee will lead off for the Giants, who are on the second leg of a 3-leg road trip. Split the series in 4 games in Los Angeles against the Dodgers, and he is greeted with a first pitch strike at 6:41 local here in Sacramento. So Lee at 267, and the 0-1 pitch swung through and missed on a high cutter. 0-2. Alex Tosi behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Corey Blazer, the crew chief, at first. Steven Jashinsky is at second base, and Jansen Visconti at third. 0-2, high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you mentioned it, partner, just a gorgeous night here at the ballpark. A wonderfully warm evening here in West Sacramento. That very well could mean the ball could start to fly.
1-2 windup and pitch, and Lee serves it into center. Comfortable enough for Bolte, who makes the catch, 1 away.
Well, it's Tosi on the 1s and 2s behind the plate this evening. Won a Division III national championship as a pitcher at Illinois Wesleyan. How about that? He's a champ. A champ's champ. Former pitcher, has a very pitcher-friendly strike zone. Love to hear that. And only a 45% overturn rate when it comes to the ABS challenge system this year for Mr. Tosi.
So Luis Ariz, one of the most intriguing players in baseball, is up and taking strike 1 on a sinker. Ariz arrived with the Giants on a 1-year, $12 million deal that he signed in February of this year, and is batting .302 on the young season. But he leans out of the way of that 4-seam fastball, 1-1. This is a player that has won batting titles in both leagues, and now provides his services at second base for a Giants club that needs some offensive consistency. There is strike 2.
Ariz going to take his time out, and I mean, you noted it, batting champ in both leagues. What's that tell you? Doesn't matter where he's at, what league, what diamond in the box is home. There's a skipper for the Giants, first-year manager Tony Vitello.
1-2 pitch, high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ariz .361 average in the first inning, and .330 against right-handed pitching.
Well, it's a bat-to-ball skill set like few others have.
2-2 from Savali. Fly back foul.
Time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. We're going to take a look at the portions of the zone that Ariz can cover. Well, it's pretty much everywhere. If you're able to get that pitch down and in on a left-hander, you might have a little better luck, but outside of that, it's bat to ball.
Tried to go with the curveball. It's outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it is tough to strike this guy out.
I mean, twice as low as the second guy behind him. That's Liam Hicks. Just 7 punch outs and 177 plate appearances.
3-2 from Savali. Grounded foul up the first base side.
And this is a guy, when you see a guy like Arise in the lineup, you almost feel like just getting the at-bat over within 5 pitches is a win in and of itself. And whether he's standing on first base or in the dugout, you almost don't care. You just don't want to have a 10, 12 plus pitch at bat, which he can work up on you in a quickness.
The next pitch, line to right in the sunlight. Butler is there to make the catch. 2 quickly retired. He's going to get a little bit of a warm welcome here in Sacramento. Matt Chapman, former Athletic, current Giant. 224, a home run, 14 RBIs, 1 for 12 to start the road trip.
Well, Alex Tozy right now. And you know what? Credit to Tozy here. Because he saw that there was a moth on the helmet of Matt Chapman. Said, hey, you got a little something on your lid there, pal. And the next thing you know, that thing ends up flying off. Chapman wants timeout. Doesn't get it. There's an issue. And Tozy just trying to avoid any sort of complication here to start the ball game.
There was a moth caught in a St. Louis player's helmet last series.
Yeah.
Pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, remember Geloff yesterday fall into the Mothman prophecy. Get out of there.
High and in, 2 balls and a strike.
Saw the numbers there for Chappie this month. It has been a struggle. It has been a struggle for this Giants offense.
There's a strike, 2-2. This is a Giants team. It's 5-5 over their last 10 games, 8-14 on the road.
Savali dotting the corners. Credit to Langoliers blurring those lines early.
2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
And something that A's fans know a lot about when it comes to Matt Chapman is when Matt Chapman does start to get going, it can be a prolonged hot streak. He can stay hot with the best of them, but I think there's been a significant body of work now, a track record that'll tell you when it's hot, and when it's not, it is not.
2-2. That will continue here. A called strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Savali. Time to look at the A's bats when we return with no score.
We're here for the
first inning. Time to look at the A's lineup, brought to you by your Bay Area Chevrolet dealers. And it starts with a red-hot Nick Kurtz. Then Shea Langoliers and Tyler Soderstrom. Rooker cleans up. Then Bolte, Geloff, Butler, Darrell Hernandez, and Jeff McNeil.
And the right-hander on the mound this evening in Game 1 of this 3-game rivalry series. Well, the man known as Tyler Mahle. Tyler Mahle, 9th start of the season for the fella, and you can see the numbers just start with the ERA just a hair over 5. It's really just been a mixed bag of results, I think, for Mahle. You know, he's performed well. I think you look at every other start and you can see success, and you can see where the issues have arisen, and I think it's just about not having any consistency. Sometimes it takes a while to find your footing, but you're starting to creep into what's about a third of your starts now, where there still has just not been a ton of that consistency.
1-1 in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Well, Kurtz is on a 3-game hitting streak. Over his last 15 games, .328 with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. He has homers in back-to-back games, starting to see the ball well with power to the opposite field. And that average steadily climbing, now at .275. And doing well in the leadoff position against right-handed arms. 2-1, turned on and foul.
Well, to that point, I think he's settling into that spot. I think initially it takes some warming up, but when you're ready to rock and rear and to go like he was yesterday, it was 1-0 quickly for the Athletics. And with that leadoff home run, Nick Kurtz became the only player, the only Athletic, to hit a leadoff home run against the St. Louis Cardinals, as well as a grand slam.
2-2. He will tip it into Susak's glove, and one is away. As the Giants go around the horn, so will we, and look at their defensive alignment. The outfield left to right. Ramos, the Gold Glover, Bader in center, Lee in right, Chapman the Gold Glover at third, Adames and Arise up the middle, Devers at first, and Daniel Susak is back for San Francisco.
Here's Devers over at first base, which is where he finds himself these days.
Shea Langoliers is up, and he takes 1 ball and no strikes. 370 hitter at home this season, 340 overall with 12 home runs and 27 RBIs. And I think it's safe to say the eyes have been opened across the world with what this A's catcher has been able to do in this season.
Well, I was saying it at the beginning of the season. I was saying it really, I think, about halfway through spring training. Shea Langoliers, we've just watched him continue to build his game really in every phase. His teammates acknowledge as much.
2-0, high in the sky, in foul ground. It's tricky here, but Devers handles it without a problem. 2 are away. Well, this series is always special for Tyler Soderstrom, a Turlock, California native. His father played for the San Francisco Giants. Now Tyler on the long-term contract with the A's. Tyler 1 hit in his last 5 games with a plate appearance, average now at 195, but this might be the series for him to get right. First pitch strike.
Slowly but surely. We talked about it with Nick Kurtz, and I think you can start to feel the same with Soderstrom. I think it was just a slow start out of the gate for guys, but that's what's made what the Athletics have been able to do in terms of their win-loss record, I think, in my opinion, intriguing. Because when you're not clicking on all cylinders, and some of those cylinders that you would expect to be firing are not firing to their strength, the fact that you look up, you still have a winning record.
He lifts this in the air to left. That's curling away from Ramos on the run. He's not going to get there, and it hops over the wall for an automatic double for Tyler Soderstrom.
And there you have it. You see Malley starting to shake his head, just not happy with the location. Ball slightly elevated, up out over the heart of the plate. Sody drives it down that left field line, able to keep it fair. Just an indication of a well-struck baseball, especially the other way. At times you'll see that thing start to bend and curve into foul territory.
Soderstrom takes his lead off of second. First pitch to Rooker is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Brent now at 190, has 5 home runs, 18 runs batted in. 1 for 5 in his career off of Mahle. A's overall 3 for 18 before the Soderstrom double entering play against Tyler Mahle. Called strike, 1-1. After the loss yesterday, the A's 9-10 at home, hoping to change that right here and right now. 1-1 pitch called strike. 1-2.
We see that number right there. That just tells you what kind of power and what kind of patience that this team has collectively brought to the table day in and day out. 734 OPS as a club, 6th highest in baseball. And just to flip the coin, the Giants, 650 OPS. That is good for 29th in baseball, which is, well, it's not great.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes Pitch to Rooker. He expands his zone and strikes out on an 89-mile-per-hour cutter from Malley. No score. We go to the second. Watch NBC Sports California A's games in the Sacramento Bay Area home television territory with no blackouts on athletics.tv. Take advantage of the May price drop, now just $89.99. Buy now at athletics.tv and watch your A's all season long.
89. 89 was a good year, Chris. 89 was a good year. I mean, not so much for the Giants, but 89 was a great year.
You're already starting. Rafael Devers is up, the cleanup hitter. And it's 1-1, a low curveball. 5-game hitting streak for Devers. 3 of the last 5 have been multi-hit efforts. Had 6 hits against Los Angeles. The double, a homer, a few RBIs. And look at that shirt.
There it is. 1989.
1-1 pitch. Checked up his swing, no strike call.
As the folks at home know, these two squared off in the Fall Classic. No, he didn't. And we know how that went. It was quick.
That won't do either. 3 balls and a strike.
No, but for the Giants, I mean, this is a guy who you start to get Devers going, and I think because of where he's at in the lineup, he's a guy who can, I think, earn the guy ahead of him some pitches. Because once a guy like Devers starts to heat up, you think about not wanting to face him with guys on base, which means you just might be able to buy the fella ahead of you a fastball or 2 extra, and that would be Matt Chapman tonight. And I talked about Matt Chapman getting himself going and what that could look like and what that could lead to. And now you start to see the effects of a guy like Devers swinging the bat well throughout the lineup.
Devers will draw a leadoff walk and reach base as the first base runner of the game for San Francisco. You saw that drop down on the graphic. 18-26, worst record for the Giants. This point in the season since 2008, but we know after 2008 things started to go toward the upward trend for the Giants.
They sure did. It'd be a couple years after that they won their first of what would be 3 World Series within the next handful of years or so. 10, 12, 14. Not a bad run for the Gigantes.
Elliot Ramos is up. 400 hitter when nobody is out. 265 overall with 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in. This guy was an all-star in 2024 and hoping to replicate that success in 2026 for a Giants team that needs more offensive output and run scoring power. 0-2 pitch, tried to pin him inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First base side of the rubber from the stretch, 1-2. Curveball, fly to center. Bolte going back, still going on the track. He reaches up and makes the catch for the first out.
Tell you that warm, stagnant air, as I mentioned, could see this baseball start to fly. Looked like Bolte, who had a beat on this off the bat, ball just continued to carry. Bolte able to track it down. And that's something that we've seen from Bolte, I think, doing a nice job of making early reads, making good reads on the baseball. We did see him, I think, in the first game where a ball between he and Rooker ended up falling, and he even took accountability, said, hey, my bad, I broke back on that. But I think we already know that Bolte is going to save you a lot more than he's going to give up in terms of defensive plays.
Willie Adames is up. 333 over his last 7 games on the year. 218, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. What a debut it was for Henry Bolte, as this is popped up in the air on the infield. Kurtz makes the catch, calling everyone off. Almost collided with Adames moving up the line, and luckily no one's hurt. Good play by Kurtz.
Well, and I think you got to tip your cap to Kurtz here early. Take a listen. And Adames doing a little bobbing and weaving, and it's a good thing he picked his head up, because there's a chance you'd have to be digging Adames out of the dirt. Don't know that's a fellow you want to run headlong into in Nick Kurtz.
This is an intriguing player in Bryce Eldridge. 095 in 7 games, was called up on May the 4th after batting .333 with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs in 30 games with the AAA Sacramento club. He'll bounce it over to the first baseman, Kurtz, and that will retire the side. No damage done against Savali. Henry Bolte will come up at the bottom of the second.
Welcome back. Time now for Wirecam, brought to you by Defy. Wirecam is going to have a ton of looks throughout this rivalry series weekend. The sights and sounds of the ballpark will be popping through the eyes of Wirecam.
Henry Bolte, the Palo Alto native, playing against the Giants in his 3rd big league game. Fouls away the first pitch. Palo Alto High School, where he went 40 minutes, about 35 miles from Oracle Park, but grew up an A's fan.
He's raised right.
At 3 for 6 on the series against St. Louis, notched his first career big league hit and his first career big league at bat. Also had an RBI in that game. He'll fly this one to deep right field. Lee on the move by the line, and he caught it in a very tough area to find the baseball. A nice play by the Giant right fielder.
We see off the bat, this ball just kind of started to curve early, continued to bend towards foul territory. Probably going to be a foul ball, but the grand son of the wind able to track it down. I mean, just one of the coldest nicknames in baseball. I love it.
So Zach Geloff now up. He's been swinging it well, and will tee it back foul. 0-1. 270 on the year. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. Had 2 homers in the series against St. Louis. Over his last 15, 300 with 4 home runs and 9 of his 13 RBIs.
Well, what we saw when Zach Geloff showed up was a guy who got thrown out into center field. I mean, getting the reps in Vegas, understandable. But you come to the big leagues and you have the responsibility of that position now placed on your plate, on top of what they're asking for you from an offensive perspective. There's a lot to live up to in a short amount of time, and boy has he done it. Homer in each of the last 2 ball games, but the last 2 weeks he's been stellar. 300, 4 homers. I mean, he's been fantastic. And when you talk about being able to then take your center fielder and plug him in at 3rd base, and you've seen what kind of defense he's played at 3rd base, that clears the way for a guy like Henry Bolte to come up and make the impact he's made as well. And as Geloff works the walk, Chris, it's almost like the emergence of Zach Geloff allowed the emergence of Henry Bolte to occur. And that's the bomb he touched up yesterday afternoon. But he's just been doing a great job of hitting the ball hard, whether it's off the wall, in front of the wall, over the wall. We talk about the quality at bats from guys like we see from Cortez on a night in, night out basis when he's in the lineup. Zach Geloff has provided much of the same. It'll be Lawrence Butler at the plate now.
175, an 0 for 3 on the series against St. Louis. Lead for Geloff as Devers holds him on. Well, Mark Kotze has talked about Lawrence Butler and is happy about some of the swings he's put on the baseball. Has attributed bad luck to some of the misfortune for Lawrence, which we saw a lot of in the early part of 2024, and then he heated up in a big way. But it's not like he's swinging and missing on 3 pitches. He's working counts, putting together effective at-bats. It's just not landing for him yet.
And that's where the frustration can come from, Chris, as you put together those good at-bats. To your point, you're not getting dominated in 3-4 pitches. You've seen some tough at-bats. You've seen some balls hit hard, just right at guys at times. And the important thing during lulls like that is to stay committed to the approach. Off back well in time, no tag applied, but I think it can get frustrating quickly and you start to deviate from your process. And that's where you hear the cliche pop up. Oh, it looks like he's just trying to do a little too much. Well, what does that mean? And I think specifically it can mean, instead of staying committed to the work that you're putting in to make the adjustments, you just start making wholesale adjustments every other at bat. That's where you can get lost in space.
3-1 to Butler. Fly ball to center. Bader broke back, now comes in and makes the catch for the second out. Well, Darrell Hernandez assumed the starting shortstop position after Jacob Wilson went down with a left shoulder subluxation issue, currently on the 10-day IL, and was good in the St. Louis series. Hernandez was 4 for 9 with 2 runs scored, and Hernandez has been a good 2-out hitter this year, .318 when 2 are retired. Average now up to .242 for Darrell. He has Geloff at first and the right side open. From the stretch, Malley.
We've kind of told folks, the more that you see Darrell Hernandez in the lineup, the more comfortable he becomes. 3 knocks the other night. And the best part about this highlight reel here is you see him very comfortable shooting the ball the other way.
1-1 pitch, fouled off. That's something that you saw a lot of with Henry Bolte in his big league debut. Michael Stefanik, who came up from AAA, did that twice. Just exploiting the gap that the infield has repeatedly given these right-handed hitters. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, limbo out of the way of that four-seamer. 92 up by the chin.
Yeah, good fastball about shoulder high, just going to stand Darrell Hernandez up.
Popped into shallow right. In comes Lee. It will drop down. It's a base hit for Hernandez. Geloff didn't stop running. He's at third. And the A's have him on the corners for Jeff McNeil.
Goes down as a line drive in the book, my friend. And that man knows all about just trying to get the bat to the ball, putting together a competitive at bat. And you can see Darrell just really kind of throwing the hands to the side in an effort to get as much of the barrel to the ball as he could in that moment. But Geloff, look, off with the crack of the bat, 2 outs, realizes that ball's going to drop. I can easily get over to third base. Now here with 2 outs, you've got another contact man and Jeff McNeil at the plate.
I think that was Hernandez's B swing or C swing.
It's, in my opinion, it's an A+ swing because he ends up on base, but I know what you're getting at. It's just a matter of getting to the baseball in that moment, and that's why we talk about count leverage and what it means to be up there fighting and putting together a quality at bat. That right there, a quality at bat.
McNeil is .342 hitter with 2 outs. He has him on the corners, and the pitch served back foul, 1-1.
You know, something that I don't see a ton of these days, really, if at all. And I'd be curious to know to what extent it happens in the minor leagues. But, you know, even when I was coming up, Chris, playing a little pepper, right? And just something to keep yourself busy. And for the pitching group, it was something that we just kind of did early before we got our work in. But it's the idea that in a pinch, do you feel comfortable just being able to get to the baseball? Working on that, I think, can pay dividends.
Count leverage for McNeil, 2-1.
No.
He did not. 3 balls and a strike.
See Mac hit the brakes. And he may have gotten a little love down there from Jansen Visconti. I mean, I'm not arguing. He might argue.
Malley's 3-1 pitch. Grounded through for a base hit. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Geloff scores. Hernandez being waved home. It's going to be a close play. Backhanded by Susac. The tag applied. But it is an RBI McDouble for Jeff McNeil for the moment. An aggressive send by Bobby Crosby, but a good relay in from the Giants outfielder Lee. The A's open up the scoring thanks to Jeff McNeil and lead 1-0 through 2. Top 3, the A's lead 1-0 thanks to McNeil's RBI double that scored Geloff. Hernandez was tagged out at the plate after a brilliant relay from Jung-Hoo Lee to his infielder, who threw a strike home to Susac, who's now at the plate. And he'll swing on the first pitch, drive it to left center field. Bolte on the warning track makes the catch. 1 away.
Well, we'll pick it up off the bat of Jeff McNeil. Sneaks it by Rafael Devers down that right field line. Off the wall, you see the ball pop up, and Jung-Hoo Lee does a great job of barehanding the carom, and an even better job by Susac at the dish to reach back across his body. You can see the chop steps there from Darell Hernandez, which very well may have cost him the play here at home plate, but he's out by a large margin. And I think you got to give credit to Jung-Hoo Lee down there in right field, who, as I mentioned, you pick up the barehanded carom there, you sling it in, you get the relay throw, and Susac does a great job of reaching across his body, picking up the short hop backhand.
Darell Hernandez throws to first, 2 away. Bader is retired.
And still able to get that tag down in time. So just a good job, I think, on the front and back end of that defensive relay.
Dallas, you were talking about Luis Arias in the first inning, just upping the pitch count. Now 2 quick outs for Savali at 36 pitches in the 3rd inning. This is a good time to get another quick out. Have a very conservative inning of work. Here's Jung-Hoo Lee, who is greeted with a curveball in the inner half for a called strike.
And that right there is something Aaron Savali has done a fantastic job of this year as well, is when he does get quick outs, the veteran understands that the opposition isn't in a hurry to continue to give him sub-10 pitch innings. So how do you continue to attack? Well, you just dial up strike 1 again.
1 ball and 1 strike. Make it 1-2. Lee had a line out to center field. It was a comfortable catch for Henry Bolte for the first out of the game. Here's pitch number 40 for Aaron Savali. 1-2 pitch, grounded to the second baseman McNeil, who moves over, throws to first, and a 7-pitch 3rd for Aaron Savali. Very quick, and he turns it right back to his offense.
Get your A's single game tickets today. 2026 season seats are on sale right now. Don't miss out on top tier matchups, unique giveaways, and our incredible post-game fireworks displays. We got one of those tonight. You can visit athletics.com/SGT to find your spot in the ballpark. Speaking of finding your spot, Nick Kurtz up now 0 for 1, punched out in the first. Found yourself in a little bit of a different spot yesterday, partner.
Yeah.
We had a nice wrestling show in town.
Yep.
Found yourself on the microphone for the Sacramento street fight, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very cool. 2-0 to Kurtz. Take a strike, 2-1.
I mean, what I want to know first off is, did you have to turn down the opportunity to get in the ring, or were they wise enough to just want to put a microphone on you?
You know, it's interesting you asked me that, because I think they saw my throwing motion on Tuesday and said there's just no chance.
Well, maybe that, and just opting to not put you in a singlet, which I would agree with. But the folks over at TNA were in town last night. And I'm sorry I didn't get to join. I know that was something that we had discussed.
2-2, fouled away.
But how about this, folks?
I don't want to give it to you.
Chris, just give it to him.
I do.
Oh, no.
Chris, just play this safe. Trust me.
Had a better use than me.
Breathing that helmet to Navarro. Oh!
Kurtz is out. He check swing for out number 1.
Well, that didn't look like a check swing last night.
No, there was one move where Casey Navarro connected with AJ Francis, ran around all 4 turnbuckles, and then slid into home plate, colliding with AJ Francis above a trash can.
Oh.
But that was purely barreled.
Yeah, that's
with the torpedo bat, by the way.
My goodness. How do you feel about aiding and abetting to that level of violence?
Well, you know, AJ stole the bat from me. I gave the helmet to Casey. Ultimately, AJ Francis.
So you just wanted to see a fair fight?
Yeah, I think we were treated to a good one. I'm just glad I didn't get harmed in the making of that match.
Yeah, that could have gone south.
But no love lost between those two gentlemen. That is absolutely for certain. But it was really cool to have all of my closest friends in the A's organization there. People I would consider family, about 30 of them, decided to join.
Oh. Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
There was someone missing who was supposed to call the match with me, but we will do that later. 3-0 pitch popped out of play, foul. The one thing I told them is, they asked, is Dallas here? Is Dallas here? Everybody wants a piece of Dallas, and I said, I don't think he's interested in calling another event broadcasting. He'd want to be in there in the ring.
Oh, look, it's not my arena per se.
Underneath it, skied a mile high. The ball is carrying in the air tonight, and Devers makes the catch.
Well, either way, I know it was a lot of fun. I know you did a great job. I caught wind of it. Was able to catch the highlights as well. And to your point, we had a lot of folks from the A's family in the house, so fun had by all. And I think it was a nice bow to put on what I know was a fun week for you and your family.
Yep, can't thank you enough for that too, for being such a gracious host and giving up your spot for my brother. And we had a lot of fun and just an incredible memory made. But now it's time for some A's memories to be made this weekend against the Giants. Scoreline looks pretty right now, 1-0 A's.
We'd like to build on it. We saw Sodi put together a good at-bat in his first turn at the plate, double down that left field line.
0-1 pitch, fouled away. 0-2. And Soderstrom was at 2 strikes. He was just able to serve it the other way with Ramos. He has some opposite field power. I know it gets lost when you start talking about Kurtz, who can go the other way at will with power, but Soderstrom's got some pop the opposite side as well. 0-2, down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Sodi's just one of those just naturally strong individuals. I mean, just a thick dude.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
And I think it's something we saw early, and something that I really kind of paid attention to early when Sodi first got to the big leagues, was the ease with which he would drive the ball the other way, because you know once you start to dip into the pull side power, the ball's going to absolutely fly.
It won't there. He'll swing and miss. And Malley has a 1-2-3 third inning of work. A's up 1. Who's your favorite player to play for both the San Francisco Giants and the A's? Is it Matt Chapman? Is it Barry Zito? Is it Stephen Vogt? Or is it Vida Blue? Scan the QR code to vote now. I'm curious to hear your answer, Dallas.
Well, I think I could go a few different ways, and I think the folks at home would understand. You know, I've got a nice, great relationship with Chappie, able to watch him grow up in the big leagues.
Arise hits it high in the air to right. It's hanging the line. Butler on the move, and Arise has homered for the first time this season. And ties this game. Now he will race around the bases. 1-1.
Well, you saw Arise step up and survey the opposite field before his at-bat. Here he just takes advantage of a fastball up and in. Opens up on it, and look, this dude has some of the quickest hands in baseball. And he had no problem turning on that heater and getting it up and out of here. But again, with this stale air tonight, felt like the ball was going to jump, and I think it has.
Here's Matt Chapman. He'll stroke this one to center field. Bolte moves back, and in the last sliver of sunlight makes the catch for out number 1.
But afforded the opportunity to watch Chappie, as I said, become the big league player that he is today. A lot of fun. Obviously, I think the relationship with Stephen Vogt, well documented. I mean, just one of the game's favorites, not only an A's or Giants fan base favorite. And I think you have to give your love and appreciation to my fellow left-hander Vida.
Devers on a hard line to right center. Butler moves over, and he makes the catch. Good outfield play, great communication between Bolte and Butler. Right fielder had it all the way.
Well, Law Dog tracking it down and going from dark to light. Not a ton of fun when you're trying to track the baseball. You got to stay locked in on it. Able to keep the lid as well. But you know what? It's gonna be Vida, and then probably Voter a close second. I'm sorry, Vida.
I know you love all these guys.
I do. And I mean, Barry Zito, obviously, I think enough said. The name says it all, especially for A's fans.
Swing and a miss on the slider, 0-2. I think I got to go Stephen Vogt as well. He's the one I know the best, though I did like our interview with Barry Zito at the A's Hall of Fame induction ceremony game.
Oh, Z's great. I mean, just a very sweet human being.
Singer-songwriter on the side. Mike Aldretti also wore both the Giants and the A's colors.
Turtleneck on both sides. Big mock turtleneck guy, Aldo.
1-2, grounded the other way. Diving try by McNeil. It gets into right for a base hit. And Ramos is aboard.
But again, I'm answering that question based on the poll, right? You know, we can expand the pool as Elio Ramos expands the strike zone, goes up top, gets a heater. And 2 outs, Giants able to keep this line moving here.
About 2 booths down, a former Giant and AFP Santangelo calls the games for Giants radio. Line drive to left, that'll drop down in front of Soderstrom, who will play it off a hop. Back-to-back hits for Ramos and Adames, bringing up Eldridge.
Well, just a couple pitches back-to-back that have stayed a little more hittable, I think, than Savali would like. Adames, who we've kind of highlighted, starting to see the ball a little better here over the last handful of games or so.
This is San Francisco's #1 prospect, Eldridge, facing Aaron Savali, who's held opponents to 3 for 35 when there have been runners in scoring position. First pitch curveball. Strike one.
And this is what I mentioned in the open, partner, was his ability to make big pitches, right? We're in a high leverage situation right now for Savali. Able to get ahead, strike one with a curveball.
Now climbs the ladder with a cutter. Where does he go here?
He could throw an even better cutter up and in, same location, but get that ball instead of backing up to work in under the hands. He could very well go with that sinker that we see him front hip the lefties with, because I think he's trying to be efficient, or as efficient as he can be. He'd love to wipe him out here.
0-2. He did go high with a cutter, just too high. Savali had a 7-pitch third. Now at 53 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th. 1-2 pitch fouled away. But that 7-pitch third inning is big when you consider how you always talk about the 575, 460s right there. Langeliers might have got a piece of that. Oh, that kicked off his pitch column.
Yep. Again, Alex Tozy. I just like to point these little things out because initially when the pitch timer came about, there was, you know, strictly enforced rules about giving time, and just he's done a great job tonight here in the early go of this ball game to give grace to the game and allow the game to be played and unfold.
1-2 pitch. Ooh. Thought it locked him up. Missed by a hair.
Close one.
Challenges have not been deployed today by the A's. Here's the 2-2 to Eldridge. They'll line it to McNeil, who's right there to make the catch. Arise homers for the first time this year and ties the game at 1-1. Award is presented by Provident Credit Union. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/AST to check out Susan Say Lee of Pacific Elementary in Sacramento, as well as the other finalists, and vote for your all-star teacher. The grand prize-winning Teachers School will receive $30,000, so please vote now. Well, Luis Arias at the top of the 4th inning homered for the first time this season and tied up the game at 1-1 after a high-arcing solo home run to the right field A's bullpen right by the foul pole. And Rooker is up, taking outside 1-0 after striking out in the first. He's 0-1. There's a strike, 1-1.
There's something to remember about Arise. You know, one of the weighted factors in his arrival in San Francisco was the opportunity to play second base. Right? Adamant about wanting to play defense, wanting to be able to contribute on both sides of the baseball. And in terms of qualified players for the San Francisco Giants, far and away their best defender. Far and away.
Rooker strikes out. Foul tip into Susak's glove, 1 away. 5 strikeouts for Malley.
Malley just coming right at Brent Rooker. Four-seam fastball, top shelf. Rook may have been looking for something else. To tell you what, Malley making 91, 92 look like about 95 right now.
Polte flew out to right. A nice play by Jung-Hoo Lee by the line. Back in the 2nd. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. He's 22 years old. Can you believe that? Was born in San Francisco, raised in Palo Alto, drafted by the A's in 2022 in the 2nd round. He'll ground this up the middle, and it's into center for a hit. Polte has hit safely in every major league game he has played in. 1-out single for the center fielder.
Polte doing a nice job of staying on a little cutter, it looked like. Hit hard right back up the middle. 102 off the bat. We know that Bolte brings that added dimension of speed as well.
One thing Tony Vitello said of Daniel Susac, though, is he was highly complimentary of Susac's arm and defensive acumen. Says he can throw out the best of them, and Bolte might be a threat to run if he continues to get on base.
We'll see Arias and Adames communicating. And I can kind of tell from where I was sitting yesterday afternoon that Bolte, aggressive on this pitch, was off to the races, stole second base standing up, no problem.
Swing and a miss. Geloff strikes out. 2 away for Malley, and here comes Butler.
Another strikeout for Malley and another strikeout on a four-seam fastball at the top of the strike zone.
Lawrence flew out to center field. His only time up. He's 0 for 1. Well, this A's offense has performed well at home this year. 272 as a team entering play tonight. That's 3rd in all of baseball for that statistic. However, 9 and 10 with a 5.66 ERA. That is last in baseball.
Yeah. Oh.
And Bolte got around the tag, it seems.
We'll see if Tony V is going to take a look at this. You can see Bolte leaning. See that twitch. And really, it's the location of the throw. Looks like that left hand or that right hand in there just before the tag of Devers. But you can see the height and the fact that Devers had to reach just a hair for that baseball.
Shorter lead for Bolte. Devers still holding him on. 1-0. Bolte's going to go. Susac's strong throw to second is right on the money. Tag applied by Adames, and he cuts down Henry Bolte. So 1 pitch later, they put Bolte in motion, and Susac, the former A's minor leaguer, delivers an excellent strike to second base.
Well, catch and throw indeed. He caught it, and he threw Bolte out.
Better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity. Imagine that. Well, top of the 5th, 1-1 the score. Chris Carey, Dallas Braden, our producer Delaire Lewis, and Daniel Susac on the first pitch, popping it up to Geloff at third base. 1 pitch, 1 out. There's the start Savali wanted. Now 57 pitches with 1 away in the 5th. Here comes Harrison Bader on a 3-game hitting streak. This offseason signed a 2-year, $20.5 million contract with the San Francisco Giants in late January. He'll swing and tag it back foul, 0-1. Missed a month of play after a left hamstring strain. Was reactivated this week against the Dodgers, and now here squaring off against the A's in game 1 of this series. He'll tag that one to left. It's hanging the line, and it is gone. Bader has homered, and the Giants have their first lead of the night.
Just a hanging breaking ball, stays up. Bader able to wait back. Knew he hit it well off the bat. Giants able to take a 2-1 lead now. Off a couple pitches left up in the zone. Curveball we've seen Savali use to get ahead.
That swing to me for Bader, and I don't know if I'm saying this the right way, kind of looked like a slow pitch right-handed softball swing where he's just chopping the ball through and almost backspinning it.
Well, it's what happens, I think, when hitters start to see a pitch out of the hand, and it's just a matter of trying to keep everything synced up and back long enough to put the good swing on it that they're wanting to deliver.
Lee will sweep this into right. Back-to-back hits for the Giants, and they've started to see Savali well. The second time through now, third time through with Lee.
Change up down that, again, Lee, much like Bader, just does a nice job of staying back on.
Rise has struck the ball well twice. A hard line out to right in the first, and then a solo home run into the A's bullpen in the fourth. First pitch strike, 0-1.
Here it is. You can see where this pitch is. They want the target up and in. They got it up and in, but Arias just beat him to the spot with his quick hands. Here's the Giants.
That won't curl back.
Giants tied for 9th in baseball with 31 double plays ground into. You know you're going to get a ball in play. Arias maybe not the most fleet of foot fella.
Giants played the A's well last year. 0-2 pitch, lined into left, a base hit. Just a unique ability to go with the pitch, a very special talent. He slaps it into left for his second hit of the game.
And that's the perfect way to describe what you just saw Arias do. You see him out on that front foot, but you see how far the hands were kept back. And for Arias and his approach, there's an emphasis on keeping his hands in a good firing position because he knows he can get the bat to virtually any pitch, or at least he feels that way. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And that's what makes a guy like Arias such a tough customer to deal with. And it's not like he's a big-time power threat, but should he decide to pick out a spot to try to get a big swing off, he apparently can hurt you.
A's went 1-5 last year against the Giants, including a sweep at Oracle Park. Won the first of 3 games here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. Giants claimed both series in 2025. Now Chapman swings and misses at a cutter, 0-1. Lee at second, Arias at first. The Giants lead 2-1. Trying to get him to dance with a curveball, 1-1.
Right now, what you're trying to tap into is maybe some aggression on the part of Matt Chapman. Got a runner in scoring position.
Foul that away, 1-2. Activity in the bullpen, Dallas. And it is Joel Kuhnel. With just 68 pitches, Savali is still well within, or well able to go deeper in the game if he's capable of getting out of this. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. On the sinker working in.
Take a peek from the side here, see what Corey Blazer saw. Oh man, I mean, that you're going to watch the barrel go well ahead here. That's a swing.
Yep.
That is a swing. Should be 2 outs here.
2-2 popped up. Kurtz moving over. And foul ground makes the catch. So it took 1 pitch longer. Pitch number 70 is the second out of the inning for Savali. And it's Rafael Devers up again.
And I think the thought here is with Kuna warming up is the Giants, as you said, have started to see Savali, and you're now working your way through this lineup for a third time. And this is the portion of the lineup that could probably do some damage against you. And Chapman and Devers, who hit the ball hard his last time up.
17 of 21 first pitch strikes. Infield playing to pull, and it is 18 of 22 now with that strike.
Well, that hasn't been a problem at all. I think we're talking about an outing for Savali where it's 2 pitches that the opposition was able to take advantage of, a elevated fastball and a hanging breaking ball. Outside of that, he's done much of what we've seen from Savali all season long.
When the A's signed this guy in the offseason, they wanted him to be able to eat innings and compete, and he has done both.
Oh, to say the least.
High and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. And no discredit to Savali whatsoever, but with the tumultuous 2025 that he had with a number of different teams that he played for in a variety of different roles, I think if you looked forward and you saw the performances that he's had, you'd be very happy with what he's been able to do. And here comes an ABS challenge. It's 3-1 for the moment. DB, as you know, ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and it just clips a corner to make it 2-2. Good challenge by Shea.
Great challenge, and I think a great spot here as well. Instead of 3-1, you go 2-2. Things start to open up a little bit for you. If you're Savali, you've got a pitch to play with.
.74 pitches, 1 pitch away from that .575 mark. First and second for San Francisco, who lead by 1. 2-2 away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now both runners will move with the pitch. Payoff pitch, struck him out. Savali gets out of it, does give up a home run to Bader, and the Giants have their first lead. It's 2-1.
Fans, you can make the 2026 season your group's best outing yet with A's group tickets. Bring 10 or more and score special pricing plus exciting group perks all year long. From birthday celebrations, company outings, every moment feels just a bit bigger with the green and gold. You can reserve your group today at athletics.com/tickets.
Well, the Giants have their first lead of the night after a home run from Bader, a solo home run to left, making it 2-1. It's Butler, Hernandez, and McNeil up for a second time against Malley. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Lawrence flew out to center his only time up. Did appear at the plate in the 4th inning, but Bolte was caught stealing, so he's up again. 2-0, ground ball, and that's through for a hit. Some good luck for Lawrence Butler there, as there was a gap enough to sneak it through a leadoff single. And maybe that turns the tide for the Law Dog.
That's all you need is just a little confidence booster. You're able to rake one through the hole on the right side. Get you going.
Hernandez extended the 2nd inning with a bloop single that advanced Geloff to 3rd, enough for McNeil to drive home the first run of the game. He's 1 for 1. He shows bunt, lays it down up the first base side. Susac with his bare hand slings to first, and Hernandez is beaten by a step. Nice play by Susac. cool, calm, and collected, but the sacrifice does advance Lawrence into scoring position.
And we've seen plays like this from Shea Langoliers for a while. Susak, a long levered fella. You see him go down and pick this up. And that right there is essentially just like a fast pitch fastball delivered underhand. That is not easy to do from the catching position, especially when you're the size of Daniel Susak. There was no time for him to come up, plant, and try to make an overhand throw. We've seen Langoliers basically lay out and get parallel to the ground to make a play. And it's a combination of not having enough time and having to make a throw from that difficult arm angle. Well done by Susak.
1-0 to McNeil. He will take a strike on a splitter, 1-1. That splitter is used second most by Malley. 25% usage coming into the game tonight. Really fastball splitter heavy. Then he follows it up with a cutter, a slider, a sinker.
And it's been better served against the left-handers. Lefties hitting just 238 against that splitter as opposed to 375 against right-handers. Has yielded a homer to both sides of the platoon on that pitch.
McNeil has had no problem serving it into left. The 2-1 pitch is inside, 3-1. And I believe this was on a 3-1 count back in the second.
Fastball pulled right side. Double for McNeil, but a good relay from the Giants defense will bring the inning to an end. Eddie Hernandez at home.
Hitters count for McNeil. 3-1. He will take this time on that split. 3-2. Three-two pitch, lifted into left, it's sinking, and it drops. Butler to third, McNeil at first. A's have him on the corners. Ramos almost a great play in left, but it dropped just quick enough for McNeil to have his second hit in as many at-bats.
Well, and you can get the sense just by watching Lawrence Butler, he is itching to make something happen. Where he was at, this ball, you see, I mean, he's essentially at third base. And that ball short hops Ramos out there and left. And it almost feels like if you're going to be that far or that close to third base, just keep going. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Because should Ramos have been able to come up with that baseball, it's an easy double up to get Butler at second base.
No surprise there's a meeting on the mound because the man coming up leads the team in average with runners in scoring position this year. Kurtz 440 when there is a runner at second or third or both. Fly ball would do enough to tie it, but we're talking about Kurtz, who's punched out twice. He's looking for more than that. First pitch, fly ball, left center field. That's traveling back. It is way more. Oh my goodness. Four to two. And I think they awoke the sleeping bear here in the fifth. 3 straight games, a homer, all to left center field. And I think it's safe to say, Dallas, Nick Kurtz is back.
The Pachyderm power on display.
Langoliers now gets it in the air to right. Long way to go for Lee, and it will drop. 4 hits this inning. This one was the biggest.
Well, Nick Kurtz just catching a cutter back door. And he beats the back door down. Churn it up. The big Amish with a barrel on a swing as smooth as butter, baby.
You've talked about this, Dallas. Third time through the order. They saw Mahle and took advantage. Now lead 4-2. Soderstrom up, taking strike number 1.
Well, heads up in the bus section. Well, with his 38th straight game reaching base, just 2 away from old Jack Cust. Look out, Custy.
Now a 4-game hitting streak for Kurtz. 3 homers in 3 straight games. All big-time swings. 9 RBIs on this homestand. The 0-2. Now Soderstrom gets it in the air to right. Lee on the move, and he will make the catch right in front of the warning track for the second out. This is different than Tyler Mahle's last start against the A's, happening on May 1st of 2025, back when he was a Texas Ranger. It was a losing effort, but it was 6 strong innings with just 1 run against him and 5 hits. Now he is in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs to the tune of a 2-run A's lead, 4 runs off of 8 hits here at the ballpark in West Sacramento, a place that he has not pitched yet up to this point in his career, and he is rudely welcomed to the 916 by that man.
Well, he's pitched well against the Athletics. The 2 times that he had faced them prior, just had a couple L's to show for it, and that's all.
2 strikeouts to Rooker, and he has a 1-1 count. Well, there were a lot of conversations about the utilization of Kurtz in the leadoff spot, but it's not just him hitting solo home runs. It's situations like that where the bottom of the order can get aboard, and you put him in a spot where he can drive in 2, 3, 4 runs, and he has done so this series. Another fly ball to right. Lee will not get it. It drops down. Langeliers was running on contact. He stops at third. Rooker has a bloop single. Quite a few of those this game. And I wonder if the Giants defense in the outfield is having trouble reading the baseball here tonight.
Well, this ball off the bat of Langeliers, you can see Jung-Hoo Lee takes a step or 2 to his left before breaking in on the ball. And with 2 outs, Langeliers on the move. Looks like we're going to have another little chit-chat on the mound. This one brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
Tell you what, Dallas, 12,348 strong here, 7th sellout, everyone happy. Let's hear a word from our friends at Tri-Counties Bank.
We've been providing big bank lending power and high-tech service throughout California for over 50 years. But we're still the locals down the street, no matter where your street may be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.
Bolte looking for more. Had a single last inning, up again, taking high, 1 ball and no strikes. A's have him on the corners again. Dallas, another big inning of offense.
And do with these numbers what you will, Chris. Mahle's ERA with runners in scoring position, 20.57.
Line drive into left, a base hit. You called it. Langeliers home. Bolte his 2nd. RBI is a big leaguer, and they keep the line moving, 5-2.
Bolte with a barrel through the hole. Another cutter that just kind of backs up. And Bolte able to pull the hands. And No shot for Matt Chapman to lay out and knock it down. And the Athletics continue to add here after the 3-run blast from Kurtz. I mean, just a fantastic job by Henry Bolte.
Ninth hitter to come up this inning, Zach Geloff, who will take low. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's walked and scored, also struck out. Every single game in this series and this homestand, the Athletics have had an inning scoring 3 or more runs against their opponent. Now Geloff pops it in the air, shallow left center, backpedaling Adames, and he will make the catch. That will retire the side. But 9 come up for the A's. They score 4. Biggest swing of the inning is Kurtz's 3-run blast to left center. His 8th of the year, and the A's lead by 3.
The New York Yankees, that starts Friday, May 29th. You can kick off the summer with a high-stakes weekend featuring beach-style giveaway for Sacramento Saturday, a kids' water bottle giveaway for Stompin' Sunday. Don't miss the chance to see this legendary AL matchup. Get tickets now, athletics.com/tickets.
That looks a lot nicer. 5-2 the score, a 4-run, bottom of the 5th, thanks to Kurtz and company. 9 hitters came up to the plate. And now Joel Kuhnel is in the game, his 17th appearance, sub-3 ERA. He follows up Aaron Savali, who had another effective starting outing. That's fouled off of Elliot Ramos. 1-1.
Savali able to, again, just do enough to give his team a chance to win a ball game. And I think the fact that the Giants were able to generate a little offense and were able to kind of string some hits together, and that's not how the scoring came about. 2 solo shots for the Giants is how they have produced their runs. But you know, aside from the 1st inning and the 3rd inning, the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th all had traffic, and I think given an opportunity to get you through 5, let the offense do what they did, create a little separation.
Kuhnel just rears back and strikes out Ramos on a 96-mile-per-hour 4-seam challenged in the inner half, and 1 is away.
Yeah, Big Joel says, come and get it. Ramos can't catch up.
And I think, Dallas, when you look at the game yesterday and how it finished, the A's have a sour taste in their mouth and are hoping to put it all together here tonight against a big-time rival in the Giants.
Well, it was an unfortunate ending to a ball game that I think everybody feels like the Athletics were in a position to win. I mean, down to an out. Cardinals able to push back, scratch a couple across.
One ball and 1 strike now. Ground ball, diving try by Geloff. That will get into the left field corner. Adames cuts the bag at first. Soderstrom will throw it into Hernandez. A 1-out double for Willy Adames. His 2nd hit of the evening.
Fastball middle to maybe slightly inner 3rd. And Adames, a guy who we had talked about, starting to see the ball a little better here as of late, able to open up and pull a double down the line.
Here's Eldridge, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a hard line out. Taking outside, 1 ball and no strikes. There is a situation here with the Giants, Dallas, where there's a lot of talent, young talent coming up, just nowhere to play them. Casey Schmidt is not in the lineup. He's had a great start to 2026. Can play 3rd and 1st. Eldridge, a first baseman by trade, DHing today. Will hit off the pitcher's mound, take a hop to Hernandez, positioned perfectly. Lucky break for the A's as that was smoked off the bat from Eldridge. 2 down.
Well, he'll take it.
And did that get a piece of Kunal?
It looked like it got the heel. It's a kick save and a beauty from the big fella.
So my second question is, did that ever touch the ground?
So off the heel and the ground, it looks like.
That's a 1-6-3 put out.
Because I was thinking the same thing, and I thought I saw dirt fly up.
Kunal looks all right. He's looking into that dugout, though.
Well, I think they are gonna. They're gonna.
McNeil communicating with Bobby Crosby, it seems, in the dugout.
Well, they're trying to appeal. And they're saying there's nothing to appeal. And that's because the ball hit the ground. And Scott Emerson is wondering.
That's what I was wondering. Initially, I didn't think it hit the ground, but you said you saw dirt kick up.
It hit the ground. That's exactly what it just said.
And I'm sure he's probably just trying to build off the momentum of getting that ground out after the double. Doesn't want any time to be taken further in his relief appearance here.
Well, it's not necessarily just about the time. I think you're trying to gather as many outs as you can. But watch here. What I want you to watch, you'll see the dirt right there. See, it hits off the spike of Joel Kunal as well as the dirt simultaneously.
Play is resumed, and it's Susac from right here, the Sacramento suburbs, Roseville, California.
Susac, challenge, an ABS challenge here. Borderline pitch.
Pitch is strike. San Francisco has one challenge remaining.
You know, those are the pitches where I think, as a hitter, a pitcher, or a catcher, you can't really get angry at not getting the call. Newly minted Athletic Jose Suarez starting to toss.
Popped up and out of play. A's to come up at the bottom of the 6th inning would be the same crew that came up to start the bottom of the 5th. Butler, Hernandez, and McNeil. In what they hope will be a 5-2 scoreline. There is a runner at third, however, in Willie Adames. One-two pitch is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Susac returning from some right elbow ulnar neuritis.
Yep, a little nerve inflammation.
Spent a week in AAA against Reno, and then at Round Rock went 9 for 17 with 2 home runs. 2-2, but he will come up empty here. Kunal gets out of the inning without any damage done. 5-2 the score. Going into the bottom of the 6th, A's lead.
Time now for the Allstate Good Hands play of the day.
Him, but
and how about Chavito, Jesse Chavez? I can tell you one of the A's favorites, one of the favorites of many teams. He played for many teams. Won the World Series back in 2021, and he is now the bullpen coach for these San Francisco Giants. 18 seasons under the belt of Jesse Chavez. And I promise you, you could dial that phone and tell him, hey, Chavi, we'd like you to take the ball. And he could probably get you out or two at this point.
Lawrence Butler up 1 for 2, single, and then scored the tying run in the 4-run fifth where the A's took the lead to make it 5-2. He will face the southpaw now in Sam Hentges.
Just the third appearance for Hentges this season. Unscathed thus far for Tony Vitello.
First major league action since July 10th of 2024. He missed all of 2025. Left shoulder surgery. Returned from rehab, was reinstated from the 15-day IL last Sunday. So you know he's excited to be back in big league colors. And there is also a new left fielder in Casey Schmidt, the utility man.
Yeah, we saw Julio Ramos leave the ball game. Not much word as of late, or as of yet, I should say, on reasons. Well, there's the line for Tyler Mahle. 5 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And that fateful blow there from Nick Kurtz, 3-run homer in the 5th inning.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Butler. And the pitch he takes, and he's called out on strikes. So got it to 3-2, but Hentges able to let fastball pass Butler by.
93, fairly hittable. Lawrence Butler may just have been looking for a little something else.
Terrell is 1 for 1. Breaking ball called strike, 0-1. Hentges features a curveball, 4-seam fastball, a slider, and a sinker. We've seen 3 of 4 of those pitches. There's the 4-seamer in. One pitch in the air to right. This time Lee has it measured up. 2 down. Well, this is what the Giants need if they want to get back into this game, is a shutdown inning after a 4-run, 6-hit 5th, where 9 hitters came up to the plate for the Athletics offense. Maybe Hentges is the guy to make that happen, as the lineup card will turn over after McNeil, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI double, a single, a run scored. Multi-hit effort for number 22. Good thing to see.
Oh, great thing to see. I mean, on top of the great defense that McNeil has played this season.
He'll ground it to first. On the move, Devers steps on the bag, and that will retire the side in 1-2-3 fashion. 5-2.
Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
That Banjo Man?
Oh, it's Banjo Man. You know it's a ball game when Banjo Man is in the house.
How do you feel about the beard to his right?
I mean, strong to quite strong. Pinwheel hat in full effect.
So here's Harrison Bader, who homered to take the lead for the Giants back in the 5th, but we all know what happened in the bottom of the 5th inning. The A's scored 4 runs to swing the pendulum back in favor of the green and gold. Lefty on the mound. Making his A's debut.
Jose Suarez.
Yep.
And if you remember, Chris, we saw Suarez 5th game of the season when he was a member of the Atlanta Braves. Started that ball game.
That was his first game of the season in the big leagues. It was a losing effort.
And he's got to him. 3 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. And now finds himself coming out of the bullpen for the Athletics.
Was designated by the Braves on May 1st, picked up by the Mariners 2 days later. Then 10 days later, Seattle designated Suarez. The day after that, the A's picked him up, giving cash considerations in exchange for the left-hander, and was activated today. 2-2 pitch, line drive into left. Bader has another hit, leadoff single. And he will turn the lineup card over to Jung-Hoo Lee.
Well, just one game for the Seattle Mariners for Suarez. We've seen Bader do a nice job tonight of staying back and taking advantage of a hanging curveball. When he hit out of the ballpark in the 5th inning, and here a changeup. Some soft front puppies, as we say, soft front side.
Kurtz will hold on Bader at first with a short lead. Lee swings and misses on a 4-seam fastball away, 0-2. Those two have been big fire starters for this game offensively, Hernandez and McNeil. Now a fly ball to center. Bolte initially broke back, now comes in and makes the catch. Now it's time for the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Service Champions. 2 more games against the Giants on Saturday and Sunday. And then next week, the A's head down south to face the Angels for 4 and the Padres for 3 at Petco Park. Then back at home against the Seattle Mariners for 3, and off day Thursday the 28th. Then the Pinstripes come to town, the New York Yankees, on the 29th through 31st of May. Arise did not go around. He's been a pest at the plate today, 2 for 3. Solo home run, a single, also a hard line out. And you can see some pinstripes in the crowd. You're expecting to see Giants orange and then green and gold everywhere, but sometimes you may see a random jersey here at the ballpark.
Yeah, you know, I think I have mixed feelings on that. I think ultimately I land on, if you're a baseball fan and you're at the ballpark, look, wear what you want to wear. Who am I to tell you what threads to put on?
Line drive over the leaping Kurtz. That will go into the corner. Hustling around first into second. Heading for third is Bader. He's stopped at third. And Arise now has a double. So his last 3 at-bats, home run, single, double. The Giants now bring the tying run to the plate with Chapman against the lefty.
Well, this ball just stays up, and Arise, like we saw against Savali, able to turn and burn. I mean, he has lived up to the billing in terms of being able to get to baseballs all around and outside of the strike zone. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton Price.
Chapman is a .256 hitter against left-handed pitching. With runners in scoring position, entering play tonight, .368. And that will cause Medina to start warming up in the bullpen. First pitch to Chapman is a strike. Chapman is 0 for 3. Double play ball effectively eliminated with the Arise double. That didn't go. Close. Langoliers didn't challenge.
Like it may have been just in off the plate.
Fouled away.
Well, 1-2 here, and I think if you're Suarez, you don't want to leave anything up. You don't want to give Matt Chapman an opportunity to take advantage of an elevated mistake.
One and two, high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Was that the spot you wanted him to go to there?
Well, if you're going to go high, it's kind of what we call higher than high, elevated. And now you try to stretch the zone, I think, in a couple directions here, not only vertically but laterally as well.
2 and 2, fly ball to right. It's curling away from Butler, and it is foul. Just foul. That would have easily brought the game within 1, but it just went foul.
Yet not by a lot. But you can see the mark right there on your screen. Right there. Right there. Foul ball.
Excellent camera work by our camera crew here tonight. I mean, that is as close as it gets. Another chance for Suarez at 2 and 2. Works Chapman inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two home. Struck him out. Suarez able to get out Chapman with the fastball. And now he has a lefty coming up.
I mean, that's about as ideal of a spot that you can put that fastball against Chapman. You can see him just all tied up. That is the definition of beating a guy to a spot with a heater. Well located.
It's Devers now. 0 for 2 and a massive swing on a fastball. He was dead red on the fastball and came up empty-handed in the first pitch.
Yeah, just long swing there for Rafi.
And another big swing. You know what he's trying to do. He's going for the tie. And he's late.
Well, that's what I mean. It's just it's a long swing. You can see the hands almost casted back, and by the time he gets the foot down and is ready to go, that ball is on him.
Does he go back to the fastball here? Yes, he does.
Well, you've just blown 2 fastballs by a guy. There's no reason to speed him up in the strike zone. And in the same way that he put Matt Chapman away, wouldn't mind seeing another fastball elevated. This one a little closer to the hands, though, if you could. Really tie him up.
0-2 pitch. Defensive swing and a hop. Kurtz is there. He'll take it himself. And Suarez gets out of some traffic with no damage done. Welcome to the green and gold, Mr. Suarez.
Welcome back. Time now for your play of the day, presented by your California Ford dealers. Bobs away for Nick Kurtz. A 3-run pump back in the 5th. Now his 3rd straight game with a long ball for Nicky Nukes. Take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. The anatomy of a long ball. 23-degree launch angle, 67-foot apex, 417 feet later out to left center. and that was all she wrote for that baseball.
Though he walks up to the Arctic Monkeys, there is nothing cold about Kurtz right now. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Ryan Barucki checks into the game. Second straight lefty reliever used by Tony Vitello.
You can understand why the Giants manager trying to account for the power of Nick Kurtz as well as Tyler Soderstrom on the other side of the Langolier sandwich. Tristan Beck, the right-hander, up loosening now for the Giants.
Oh, 0-2 pitch that caught his jersey.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more. Well inside, and Kurtz reaches again.
You see where this catches Kurtzy right in the blouse. What you have to wonder about is if Nick Kurtz, in an effort to try to get out of that way, hopefully didn't tweak anything. Well, we'll take the free base runner, I can tell you that.
Here comes Shea, who's a .442 hitter with nobody out this year. 1 for 3 tonight. Half-hearted swing, a miss on the splitter. Ramos is out of the game with right quad tightness, we have learned. Casey Schmidt checked in defensively, and inning ago. 0-1. Line drive on a hop. Adames flips to second, over to first. And a nice play by the Giants shortstop. Very well struck by Langoliers. It ends up a 6-4-3 double play.
And I mentioned the defense for the Giants, and I specifically mentioned the defense for Arias. And unfortunately for the Giants, Willy Adames, based on outs above average, has been their net worst defender at -6 outs above average, who makes a fantastic play with a shovel pass over to Arias, who, as I mentioned, has been their best defender with a +9 outs above average. So just a wonderful, wonderful effort there by the middle infield for the Giants. That was a heck of a play by Adames. Take a look. I mean, a short hop that just pops up on him. The backhand, I mean, it's like running the option over there for Willie. That is not an easy play on either end.
And Arias's market every single offseason is very interesting. It seems like teams are not willing to give him long-term deals. Now with the defensive element being shown, maybe, just maybe, this will attract more and more teams should he decide to go somewhere else next offseason, because the bat is going to play.
Well, the bat plays. I think it's just a matter of, you know, do you value what he brings to the table offensively?
Yeah, I think he went.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say.
Did he go that time? No, he did not. He held up.
But that's where I think, you know, what your lineup looks like and how your roster is constructed is going to matter if you are in the market for the services of a Luis Arias type. But what he has shown you in terms of defensive viability, you got to be happy about it.
Soderstrom swings and misses. That'll retire the side. 7 innings through. The A's lead 5-2.
Is brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. 1989, it was a great year for the green and gold. A year that culminated in a World Series championship. Didn't take long, folks, just 4 ball games, and it was a done data. Dog pile time. Well, cheer up, it was a while ago, friend. as we always like to say, a house divided during this series.
Luis Medina is in the game now for the 8th inning. 1-1, 1.72 ERA. He has been sensational out of the bullpen. It's Casey Schmidt, who has been good as well. And I was talking about this a little bit earlier, Dallas, just about Casey Schmidt, Matt Chapman, Devers, how you plug and play Schmidt and Eldridge with a Giants team that's pretty much locked up on the infield. Third base, Gelov fires to first, one away.
Well, look, I think ultimately the bat plays. And when I say the bat, I don't necessarily mean the bat of Casey. I mean whoever's producing offensively, right? Look, Matt Chapman's going to play third base. That is what it is. But in terms of giving guys opportunities rotationally, that's how that's going to come about. The more you're able to take advantage of the chances you get, the more chances you're going to create for yourself. And you can eventually work your way into being the first guy up off the bench when it comes time for a pinch hit, or when it comes time for a day off for one of these fellas. Your name gets called.
And I think with the emergence of Luis Arraez defensively, if he was to underperform at second base, maybe they would have put him in the DH position more, and Casey Schmidt would have opportunity at second base. But like you said, the 9 outs above average, highest defensive player in that statistical category for the Giants. You can't take him off that position right now.
Well, and you know, does Tony Vitello and company want to have Arraez serving as their DH when you understand there's just not going to be? I mean, look, Arraez, I think he's capped out at 10 homers in his top 10 MVP finish campaign with the Marlins, and there's just not a ton of power that comes along with Arraez. And I get it, look, he's homered tonight. Okay, that's fine. I don't know that we're going to see 9 more of those this year.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Willy Adames. He will lift this out of play foul. It's such an interesting point when you talk about the DH position. Designated hitter, but sometimes it really means designated slugger.
Sure. Well, it's a guy who you want to be able to have hitting in a portion of your order where you feel like there's going to be run scoring opportunities, and he's going to be the one to help cash those in.
Called strike 3. Adames looks back at the home plate umpire. Not too happy with Alex Tozzi's call. And 2 are away for Medina.
Well, elevated curveball. Can I help you, Willie? No thanks. Just looking.
Eldridge 0 for 3.
What I like to see is the way that Luis Medina has thrown the ball here lately, and the fact that he has pitched his way in to late inning situations. And I think this was a guy at times, and this season at times has found himself in a role where if there are innings that need to be eaten, outs that need to be accounted for, where maybe you're not winning, Medina has filled that role. But the stuff has always been what you've been excited about, and it's just been a matter of being able to harness it and command it so that you can deploy it in these late inning high leverage spots.
3-0 called strike, 3-1. Medina at 14 pitches. It will be interesting to see whether he comes out for the 9th or they will use a different closer in the 9th. Perkins did pitch back-to-back games the last 2. This is popped up in the air. This one could be a candidate to curl back into play. Kurtz by the dugout, and it goes into the camera well to make it 3-2. It is Scott Barlow warming up here in the 8th. Three-two pitch, golfed into right. That will drop foul.
Giants have been flirting with that right field line all evening. This one right up next to the right field wall.
So we'll do it again with Medina against the 21-year-old Bryce Eldridge. 3-2 payoff pitch, down low.
Well, tonight we're proud to recognize the Center for Land-Based Learning. Celebrating 25 years, they connect people to the land and fresh food through hands-on programs in agriculture and stewardship. From supporting new farmers to providing fresh food access, their work is rooted right here in our community. And you can learn more at landbasedlearning.org or follow them at Land-Based Learning. I think it's apropos considering we are in the farm to fork capital.
Knew you were going to say that. You're going to give them the whole spiel you gave. You know, the Central Valley, fresh fruits and vegetables. You really do taste it. You do. When you go on the road and you go to other cities, not saying there aren't other great food towns, but especially here in Northern California, right by where around you grew up and in where you grew up.
That's it.
Some of the best food you can have.
I mean, we feed the nation from right here in this valley.
Here's Susak, and it's an ABS challenge off the slider.
Catcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenge.
Shea was successful earlier, and he will deploy another with 2 to play with.
I like it. I like that Shea. That's right. I like that Shea is, and I think we've seen Langoliers a little more aggressive here as of lately when it comes to the challenge, which is a good thing.
Oh, 0-1. Line drive to left. Soderstrom broke in, now goes back to a hop. He makes the catch, and that will end the top of the 8th. Nice play by the A's left fielder. Medina, a scoreless 8th of relief. This game summary is brought to you by
Toyota.
5-2 the score. A's 5 runs off of 10 hits. Giants have had 9 hits, but only 2 runs to show for it. Aaron Savali worked out of some traffic, did give up 2 earned runs off of a pair of home runs. 1 from Arise, 1 from Bader. Rise is 3 for 4, and Kurtz again, 3rd straight game with a home run. He is heating up in a big way. The A's offense has 2 extra runs of insurance and lead by 3. Now the Giants will turn to Tristan Beck in his 2nd appearance of the season. Beck was recalled from AAA Sacramento on Monday. Made 13 appearances. The River Cats out of the pen, had a 5.4 ERA. Did play in 31 games for San Francisco last year, mostly in a bulk relief role. But now here in a place that he is quite familiar with due to his time with those Sacramento River Cats.
I think that'll be something that some of these Giants players who, as this roster kind of shifts, will find a little bit of a softer landing spot here in a place they are familiar with.
Beck strikes out Rooker.
This powerful performance is brought to you by Xfinity. Henry Bolte continues to swing the bat well here in the early go in his big league career. A couple knocks tonight. Another RBI. 5 for 9 over his first 3 big league ball games. And we were discussing the feeling that a young player has when they first come to the big leagues, and sometimes how the desire to produce can overwhelm you. You want to show the organization that they made the right decision by bringing you up to the big leagues. You want to be the player that all the hype has been telling people they should expect when you get to the show. But I think Bolte's done a nice job of just kind of quieting that noise surrounding his arrival.
He gets this in the air to right. Ballpark will hold it in, and in the lights, Lee makes the catch.
You know, there's so much pressure that comes along with the expectation, especially when you're as highly touted as Henry Bolte is, and he's done a very nice job of contributing. It'll be the left-hander Hogan Harris who will be contributing, I think, here in the 9th inning as he starts to loosen up.
Here's Geloff swinging on the first pitch. Underneath it. And it is a quick inning for Tristan Beck. Through 8 innings, the A's lead by 3, looking for a win.
Ball is brought to you by Law Tigers, Northern California's motorcycle lawyers at lawtigers.com.
Tower Bridge illuminated in the night. We are in the 9th. And the A's lead 5-2 thanks to that man, Nick Kurtz, who gave the A's the lead with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 5th. The A's have been able to hold that same scoreline for 3 straight innings. And a first pitch swing and miss by Bader. It's 0-1. And who is in the game, DB?
Give me the lefty. Left-hander from the boot. Hogan Harris, 24th appearance for the Southpaw. A couple of saves under his belt this season. Quickly ahead of Bader here, 0-2. And I think tonight has been a good example of what this bullpen represents, even as we move into a direction where it's understood that
3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out. He is rearing back and firing 4-seamers. And all he needed was 3 to retire Bader.
Yeah, that's just a little come and get it. 95 middle. How you doing? And Bader just looking for something else. But Chris, I think tonight is a good example of how we have seen this bullpen evolve, and the fact that I think comfortably so these guys have responded to knowing, hey, we might not have definitive roles, but
ground ball to second, moving over McNeil into the outfield grass, 2 away.
Getting very comfortable with coming into the ball game in different situations and being able to get the job done regardless of those situations.
Take a look at the probables tomorrow. Trevor McDonald, who's been very good with San Francisco in his first 2 starts of the season, against Luis Severino, the ace of the A's. The A's are 1 out away from the first win of this series, and it is up to Arise, who has been the biggest pest tonight. 3 for 4, a solo home run, a single, a double. Darren Bush, you can see him grinning a bit. And I'm sure somewhere after the graduation, the skipper Mark Kotze, if this result holds up, will be grinning as well.
Oh, no doubt.
Looping curveball outside, 2 balls and a strike. But they got to get through Arise, who's a multi-time batting champion.
Got to finish the ball game.
Fouled away, now 1 strike away. A's fans are on their feet. 2-2. Curveball in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Harris's payoff pitch. Fouled off of Langoliers' glove. And Arise is going to golf it toward the A's dugout. Whipped out the Scotty Cameron putter.
Well, let's see if Hogan Harris can walk this one all the way down into the hole.
3-2 again. Ground ball off of Harris's glove, sliding over her knees. It leaks into center, and it's a 4-hit game for Luis Arise. A's fans will have to wait a little bit longer here.
And Arise, again, just the innate ability to put the baseball in play. Slaps this one right back up the middle. And we've seen Arise use the entire field tonight en route to those 4 hits.
Harris goes curveball down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And you said it, DB, gotta finish off the game. We know how last game ended yesterday, down to their final strike. Cardinals came back to take the lead in the 9th inning. Looping curveball, cue shot up the third base side. Langeliers plays it fair, throws to first, and that's the ball game. A's win 5-2. Harris gets his 3rd save, and they open up this series on rivalry weekend with a WDB.
Aaron Savali does a fantastic job getting through 5 innings, turned it over to a bullpen who followed suit, did the same in collecting important outs. How about the big at bat from Nick Kurtz? With 1 swing, was able to put the green and gold on top, and they never looked back.
So much fun tonight. Well, that's it from us. Stay tuned. A's Cast on NBC Sports California with Chris Townsend and Steve Sachs, presented by Toyota, starts right after the break.